With what the high schools are doing just by the initiative of the High School Heroes Challenge. We went out years ago, talked to high schools and said we really want to have a friendly competition, and almost every high school in the state embraced it, especially those sitting here today because that's why you're here. And we've seen some tremendous growth, and I'd like to share this with you now. We have 3,984 pints in our inaugural year. The year following, 4,432, pretty good, increasing. In 2006, 2007, we had 5,563 pints collected. Following year, did even more, 6,338. Now, this is incredible, because the following year, we just surpassed it with 6,655 pints. And then, all of you may know, we came along with the 16-year-old donors. And I didn't plan this, but actually, Mallory, and you guys just raise your hand for a second. Those are our first two 16-year-old donors in Rhode Island once the bill was passed. How about a nice round of applause for those two? They're from LaSalle. Open house will be next week, I believe. That's my plug. But now for the 2009-2010 year, this is pretty phenomenal. We collected over 8,175 pints. That's just from the high school drives alone. Yeah, round of applause. Exactly. What this doesn't truly impact, or the true impact, I should say, is that our state's teenagers and what they're having on our state's blood supply year-round. These are just numbers that reflect what happened at the high school, not what our 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old, what our students are doing at our donor centers, other blood drives around the state. And also, many of them are starting to volunteer in various capacities by having mentor programs and student community service and whatnot, and that's been phenomenal. So it's really catching on, and a lot of folks and a lot of schools are stepping up, because our state's blood supply is tremendously impacted by our high schools. That's why in the summer, we're doing a lot that we can because the high schools are not in session. So trust me when I tell you that the high schools play a significant role. February 1st, 2010 was when we started accepting donations from 16-year-olds. We missed 5 months of the academic year. So keep that in mind. 5 months we did not collect from 16-year-old donors. So in 4 months, and maybe the first week of June, we had one high school or two high school blood drives. On the first week of June 2010, so the last academic year, we collected all of this blood, and this does not include, again, what was donated by 16-year-olds at our centers. That's pretty phenomenal.
Announcing the winners of this year's High School Heroes contest. And as I announce your schools, would you guys please just choose for now one representative from each school to come up.
The privileges I have in my job is I get to meet a lot of blood recipients, and I hear a lot of really compelling stories. They are all ages, and they keep telling me personally why we continue to do this all the time, because of the incredible potential we unleash, particularly when we help young people. So several weeks ago, I got to meet Alex.
I am Alex. I am 10 years old. First, I want to thank everybody here that has given blood. I'd like to tell you a story about when I was born. I had a miracle birth by the grace of God. There were many times following my birth that I needed intervention, divine, and otherwise for me to survive. The most critical was getting blood. You see, when I was born, I was a preemie with various problems that happened during my birth. And like most babies, afterwards, I developed yellow jaundice. But since the hospital was so overcrowded, some others sleeping in the hallways even, no one thought to check me for or do anything about it. And as we were there only a day and a half, so my mom and dad took me home not even knowing. They became concerned when I didn't wake up for 24 hours even to eat. They tried to wake me up, but they couldn't. After calling the doctor and going to the emergency room, they found out I was in a coma because of the high level of jaundice, and I had a slim chance of surviving. The doctor said God was looking out for me because a world-renowned specialist was at the hospital next door and came to treat me. He said by now my blood was poisoned for me, and for me to live, it would need to be completely replaced. So they took out all my poison bloods and slowly put in someone else's healthy blood so I could live. Then about a month, my body made its own healthy blood to replace what was given to me. I thank God for the smart doctors and nurses that saved my life. I especially thank especially for the unselfish people who donate their blood, so I could live. So please donate. You may get see as long as babies live today, and they can grow up also. Thank you.
Heavily represented today is Johnston Senior High School. This is an unprecedented school. They have 3 blood drives a year, and in just 3 blood drives collected 339 pints of blood last academic year. So thank you for that.
My grade point average.
There you go. Okay.